You have a very different purview than most of your contemporaries as chief marketing officers because you oversee customer experience. A lot of B2B companies, there isn't anybody that's overseeing customer experience. We talk about it, but there's nobody who's in charge of it. And that gives you a very, very different lens on how you are a contributor on the C-suite, accountable to the board, everything. What does that lens mean to you? And how do you think differently wearing both those hats, CMO and Chief Customer Experience Officer, even though I know your title is CMO, but nobody else oversees it, you do.
Yeah, I have to say first, it was a big commitment to the company years before I joined to really create a customer's experience team and really put that value there. So I was very lucky that I walked into an organization that already had that true care for the customer. They weren't just saying, they were living it. But the opportunity, as I got more involved and we started talking about it, was how do we learn from this? How do we advocate for this and communicate it in a way that does drive growth? And I think Forrester even came out with a report, it might have been this year, talking about how companies that really connect their brand promise to the customer experience, we're seeing 3.5 times larger growth, revenue growth. And that is a great example of what I think the goals are for so many companies right now and why marketing should be more connected to the customer experience overall is because marketing gets this really cool job. I know I'm a little biased, but of sitting at the center of so many different aspects of what happens in a company, from thinking about what's happening externally in the industry to figuring out how that aligns with what's happening internally to create campaigns and other growth strategies that really matter. And adding in a real connection to the customer experience and their point of view in shaping all of those strategies is so exciting. And I think so important to how companies will continue to grow.
You just did a brilliant job in answering what is the revenue logic of customer obsession? Because you don't have an incredible customer experience if you're not obsessed about the customer themselves and really digging through and understanding that experience. Because that experience isn't just if you're a tech company using the product or the consumption of the professional services. Customer experience starts with the very first interaction. Customer experience, really, to get on the short list today, you got to be known and trusted. You got to create experiences that build trust way before they even become a customer. Like, so customer experience kind of limits what you and I have been talking about because the experience really spans everything that happens before they become a customer. And then obviously when they are a customer, there's a lot of boards and there's a lot of C-level executives that can't connect the dots because customer experience isn't one thing, right? It's not, oh, a campaign that like nailed it and brought in all these leads. That's very direct attribution. Customer experience doesn't always have that direct attribution. Forrester study went a long way to saying, okay, we're on the right track. Like, how have you experienced overseeing the role of customer experience and how it impacts revenue? Like a story or just a trend, a takeaway? How do you connect those dots just from your own experiences?
It's very interesting. We are going through a process right now to really tie those revenue numbers together. But I think what we know a bit more anecdotally, perhaps, or just what we've seen in the growth of the business is that the customer experience has been part of the conversation, and our team presents regularly on different ratings and different scorings, and we're working to continue to make decisions around that I think will only continue to drive the growth. Kind of the side note I want to make on what you just said around the customer experience is the importance of review sites in AI search today. And one thing that I think is really important and why this is going to really matter more than ever to companies is as the customer is searching today for information about you and building that trust, when they go to the LLMs, one of the most cited sources are review sites. Now your customer experience is really at the heart of that top of the funnel conversation and information. That's changing the credibility and the relationships so early on that I think companies are going to continue to see the importance of not just understanding the voice of the customer, but really prioritizing it because it's going to matter in a tangible way sooner in the process. That is just fascinating to me.